It's been a little over a year since Pokémon Scarlet and Violet came out, so I decided it was about time I complete something I've attempted and failed many times before. A hardcore Nuzlocke. In fact, I've never even beat a regular Nuzlocke, so this will be two firsts for me. You know the rules. A Pokémon dies when fainted, and you have to catch and nickname the first Pokémon you encounter in any new area. And since it's hardcore, items are banned in battle. Now, I hope you're ready to join me for the most stressful Pokémon experience of my life. This is my first Pokémon Violet hardcore Nuzlocke. My journey begins in my house, where I'm getting ready for the first day at Uva Academy. The principal of the school, Clavel, shows up and gives me the choice between 3 starter Pokémon, Sprigatito, Quaxly, and Fuecoco. While making the most important decision of my 10-year-old life, I meet my new neighbor, Nemona, which, as I'm writing this script, keeps getting autocorrected to pneumonia. She's super passionate about battling and is already a champion-ranked trainer, so I got a little catching up to do. After researching which starter is the best choice for Nuzlocke because I refuse to let failure tarnish my name, I choose Mac, the Fuecoco. Little did I know I would get more attached to this jumble of ones and zeros than I am to some real living things. Nemona follows suit and picks her starter Pokemon too, Sprigatito. And she didn't nickname it. I don't know, you'd think a champion-ranked trainer would follow the rules, but it's fine, I don't even care. I follow her to her backyard where we have our first official battle with Mac, and it goes about as quickly as you'd think. Our very first win of many, hopefully. Oh. Oh, okay, she's just gonna ignore the fainting means death rule too. Yeah, sure, whatever. I move on towards Uva Academy, but get stopped by a distant cry. Going to investigate, I find our hurt Pokemon being harassed on the shore and almost fall to my death. But, thankfully, phones these days aren't just water resistant, they're also resistant to 30-foot drops. The harassing Houndours run away, and they give the purple motorcycle dude a sandwich, reviving it. We're cool now. The two of us take a nice stroll through this cave, and I narrowly avoid getting mauled to death. Once out, I meet this guy named Arvin, who's got a tiny bit of familial trauma. He tells me the purple motorcycle dude is called Miraidon, battles me, loses, and then gives me its Pokeball. Cool, sure. Yeah, thanks, man. Not too much later, I run into a Psyduck and name it Pringle, because I was feeling a little hungry. Nemona, needing her hourly fix, challenges me to another battle. I lead with Mac, and she sends out Sprigatito. Someone better let her know that she's already disqualified, because it's not my job to. Mac kills Sprigatito again, and then she sends out Palmy, terrestrializing into an electric type. Mac takes a few hits, has a little snack in between, and kills her Palmy relatively easily. Another win under our belt. And here I thought Nuzlocke was supposed to be hard. We're gonna speed through this next bit since it drags on a little. I meet a girl named Penny, save her from some punks called Team Star, get my Terror Orb from Nemona, and go through Uva Academy's orientation. All the students are told to go on a hunt around Paldea for their treasure, which can be anything they desire. For me, it's completing this challenge with as few deaths as possible. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. With Mac and Pringle by my side and Miraidon to use as free transportation, we set out toward the first gym. I arrive in Cortondo, where the bug gym leader Katie resides. On my way over, I caught a Makuhita named Sue that I forgot to record. At the gym building, I meet up with Nemona, who explains how gyms in Paldea work. Before you can fight the gym leader, you have to take a test to prove yourself worthy. But I'm on a mission, so we'll just skip over those. With my team, I go to take on Katie, and it's pretty much just a cakewalk. Pringle and Sue take a backseat while Mac terrestrializes and sweeps her entire bug-type team with no problem. And after it's over, he evolves into a Crocalor, and I get my first gym badge. While searching the outskirts of town, I run into a Drowsy named Nettie, a Watchroll named Roy, and a Terrifier Choodle named Actually. After a bit of traveling and grinding, I make it to Artisan and run into Nemona again. She gives me some ethers and leaves. I think she'll be needing her fix soon. With a clean first gym done, the team and I enter Brassius's gym with vigor, expecting the unexpected. But Mac just sweeps again. If it wasn't obvious, Fuecoco is the best starter for the early game and parts of the late game too. There's a good amount of important trainers that it just sweeps through due to their fire weakness, and it learns Torch Song down the line, which is insane if you can set it up. But we'll get to that later. With the team's second gym badge obtained, we head off to our next destination, Levincia. On the road there, I take out the Stony Cliff Titan Cloth and catch a few more Pokemon. Silly, Roadkill, and Joe. All Pokemon I've never used before. And while on the topic of Titans, I decided to do this run mostly focused on the Victory Road storyline, but we'll still be completing the others in order to get to the true ending of the game. They just won't get much focus. Anyway, actually evolved, and I also caught a Terra Electric Ralts named Marvin. Now I'm ready to head into Levincia and battle Nemona for a third time. I feel like I'm enabling her. I quickly defeat her and prep to battle the gym leader of this city, Iono. At the time, I had no way of knowing that this gym would be the first major wall I hit on this run. The battle starts, and I get to the first Pokemon just fine. Silly takes them out with a few headbutts and bulldozes, with the help of the other team members to lower their HP. 3 of Iono's Pokemon down, but that was just the start. Now comes the scary part, Miss Magius. Let me explain real quick why this thing is so terrifying and a known run killer. Miss Magius' ability is Levitate, which makes it immune to ground-type moves. Not a huge deal. It's a ghost type, so it's still weak to dark and ghost moves. Wrong. This thing terrestrializes into an electric type in the first turn, which means it is only weak to ground, giving this Miss Magius no weaknesses. And to make matters worse, its base speed stat is crazy high. Higher than most Pokemon you'll have at this point in the game, so it's almost guaranteed to go first. And to make matters even worse, it knows Charge Beam, which boosts its special attack every time it uses the move. So if this thing, which almost always goes first with its electric boosted attacks, gets a few Charge Beams off, you're done. It'll sweep your whole team before you know it. But I have a strategy. I didn't mention it earlier, but Sue Prime's Terra type is Dragon, which resists electric type moves. Who's Sue Prime? Oh, yeah, Sue evolved, so he's Sue Prime now. Now that Miss Magius is no longer ghost type, I can hit it with fighting type moves. So, I'll switch into Sue. Wait, what are you doing? Why'd you switch into Medi? Oh my god. Oh, it used Hex. Oh my fuck. To be completely honest, I can't even remember why I switched into Medi, even though I recorded this a few days ago. Maybe it was try to disable Charge Beam or poison it or something. I genuinely have no idea. Because of this choice, I'm in a situation where I have to sack a Pokemon in order to get a clean switch into Sue Prime. But I planned for this exact situation as well. Roy's role from the very start was to be sacked. I brought him into this battle for the sole purpose of sacrificing him for the greater good. So, Roy's sent up to the big PC box in the sky as he's killed by Miss Magius. First death. With this sacrifice, I can switch into Sue Prime, who can terrestrialize into a dragon type and tank a charge beam. Oh my god, it crit Hex. And you're confused. Every plan I had laid out for this gym was crumbling right in front of me. The weight of the situation was crushing me as it finally clicked. This is a hardcore Nuzlocke. I was too overconfident going in and got punished for it. But in order to overcome this, I had to take a gamble. In a Nuzlocke, you lose Pokemon. Sometimes it's a Pokemon you didn't expect to lose, and sometimes you have to sacrifice Pokemon in order to win. This is the cruel truth I had to come to terms with. I chose to sacrifice Silly, the MVP of this battle so far, in order to even have a slim chance at winning. So, I sent her out and she was killed, right in front of me. Roy's death was planned, but having to sacrifice Silly was rough, and this would only be the first. At that moment though, I knew I couldn't lose. I had to win for Silly, and Roy, I guess. I send in actually, who's holding a Quick Claw, which has the chance of letting you move first. Hoping and praying luck's on my side, I tell him to use Bite, and he goes first and flinches. This was the chance I was looking for. Just one more Quick Claw proc and oh, he was confused, very nice. Cool, third battle played. Moving on, I decide it's time to bolster our numbers and get some training in, so I can avoid another battle like that. I catch Norman, Dobby, and Crying Child, as well as evolved Marvin, Medi, and Dobby. Welcome to the team, fellas. While exploring, I take out the Open Sky Titan, Bombardier, and venture towards Cascarafa for the 4th gym. This battle against Kofu's Water-type team went much smoother than the previous one. Medi starts by poisoning Palooza and doing absolutely nothing with Trailblaze, so I switch her out to actually and kill it with a few bites. Kofu sends in Wugtrio and is taken care of by Marvin. Next, he's going to send in Crabominable and terrestrialize into a water type. But I have a plan. Similar to my strat in Iono's gym, I'll switch into Sue Prime and Terra into a dragon type to resist water moves. This isn't like last time. I'm more experienced now. I won't make any more mistakes. Oh, he got crit and slammed. Okay, never mind. Come back. You did your best. You did your best. At least he got a few hits off. So now I switch into the newest team member, Dobby, and finish it with a Volt Switch. The 4th badge is mine. I'm starting to think my strategies aren't very well thought out. Nah. No way. Now on the road to fight Larry and Medali, I catch a few new team members and evolve some as well. Max grown up so fast. Watching your friends die in front of you will do that. On my way, I beat up some misbehaving kids at the Fire and Dark Team Star bases and kill a giant worm who honestly probably didn't deserve it. With the team built and foolproof strategies ready, I enter Larry's favorite restaurant to face him head on. Larry leads with Komala, and I send out the ace of the team, Sue Prime. Between gyms, I noticed the flaw in my strategies with good old SP here. I kept saving him for the very end of the battle, when I should be sending him out early to set up and sweep the whole team. So, right at the start, Sue Prime tears into a dragon type for resistance to normal moves, and Komala uses Yawn. You know, that's fine. I'll just keep attacking and wake up, no problem. Sue takes out Komala and falls asleep. Right before Dunsparce is sent in, trusting in Sue Prime to not be a lazy asshole, I go for Force Palm, but he doesn't wake up. No biggie. Only one turn. I'll wake up this turn though. I'm retiring this strat forever. I switch into Max so normal moves don't affect him, but he gets paralyzed. Then I switch into Norman, and he gets paralyzed too. Not good. The Dunsparce has Drill Run, which is super effective against 3 of my Pokemon, and the ones I plan to fight with all have status effects. After sitting on the party screen for what feels like days, I have the most genius thought I have ever had in my entire life. I gave Mac and Norman both leftovers. The Dunsparce only has 2 attacking moves, a normal type move and a ground type move. Both Mac and Norman are paralyzed, so it can't use Glare. It will only use the attacking moves. Oh my god. So, for the next 10 minutes, I switch Mac and Norman back and forth, baiting the opposite move every time so the Dunsparce can never hit either of them, so they can go back to full health. It's not cheap. It was planned from the start. The Dunsparce finally goes down, and Larry sends out his Terra Normal Staraptor. I let Norman die for some reason. I don't remember why. And send an actually to counter its facades until it dies. And there's the 5th gym badge. Rest in peace, Norman. My only regret is letting you die holding leftovers. It was pretty expensive. Right after, I meet up to battle with Nemona while the champion of Paldea, Gita, watches. Alright, to start off, oh, it's over. Okay, cool. Yeah, after 2 bulk ups, Suprime just sweeps her entire team like it's nothing. I think he was upset he didn't get to do much in the past few gyms. Once that's done, I go check another Team Star base off my list and catch a few more Pokemon. Okay, Arceus, Chili, and a Pawniard named Fork that I totally didn't forget to record. I wouldn't do that twice. Trust me. It took over half the gyms, but the team is really starting to come together. And to top it off, Table evolved into Garganical. So I've got some real powerhouses on my side. Now I'm ready for the next gym in Montana Vera, led by the Ghost-type trainer Rhyme. While writing this video, I noticed a trend with my gym battles. Starting with Iono, every odd-numbered gym would be a pain to get through, and every even-numbered gym would be suspiciously easy. And that holds true with Rhyme's gym. I just gave Mac Throat Spray so Torch Song would give him +2 special attack right off the bat, and then set up Stealth Rock with Table to sweep her team pretty easily. And the 6th gym badge is ours, just like that. On a bit of a high, I waste no time heading to the 7th gym in Alfornada, but I get stopped by Nemona, who wants to have another battle. I'm basically doing these out of pity at this point. It goes pretty well outside of a few close calls, but it's another easy win for the best Nuzlocke team in Paldea. Saying that loud enough so she hears it. Then we do the worst gym test known to man, and I evolve Harry into Ceruledge for the gym battle. To be honest, I'm a little nervous going into this one. I don't have many strong counters to psychic types, but it's a bit too late to get cold feet. We've come this far, so I just have to go in and believe in my team. Battle with the psychic type gym leader Tulip begins, and my strategy is already in motion. Harry's Terra type is dark, so he terrestrializes right off the bat for immunity and extra stab on Night Slash. So he quickly disposes of Farigiraf with a critical hit. Off to a good start. Let's just keep this momentum up. Harry, the newest member of our team, is killed by my own mistake. I knew the Gardevoir would use Dazzling Gleam, so why didn't I switch out? I could have saved him. Oh well. I can't worry about it now, just focus on the battle. I send in Table and take out Gardevoir with a Heavy Slam, after taking an unexpected energy ball. The Spathra comes out, and I decide my best play is to crunch with actually. He gets one off, but it's not enough to kill. And if he gets hit by another, he's dead. Mac has good special defense, I'll switch into him and... I reach a genuine impasse. This isn't even Tulip's final Pokemon, and it's giving me this much trouble. What should I do? What can I do? At this point, they'll all be killed. My team, the partners I've brought with me this far. In a moment of hopelessness, actually steps forward. He doesn't say anything, but deep down, I think I understand. Like I said before, this is a hardcore Nuzlocke. Sometimes you have to sacrifice Pokemon in order to win. I already came to terms with that fact before. actually, who's been with us from the very beginning, sacrifices his life for our victory. Thanks, buddy. We'll win for you. I just really wish I didn't name you that. Marvin, wanting revenge for his fallen partner, comes out and finishes off his Spathra. Tulip is now down to her final Pokemon. She sends out Florges, and Marvin protects himself from a Terra-boosted Moonblast. He can't stay anymore or he'll die as well. I switch him out into Dobby so I can poison. Dobby is the next to fall, again, because of my own mistake. But we're in too far to think about that. I'll have to save it for later. I send in Mac in order to use Yawn on Florges, but he takes a major hit. I need him to be alive when Florges falls asleep, so there's no way he can stay in. And if I switch to Table or Marvin, they'll definitely die. But this is a Nuzlocke. Marvin understands what has to be done and sacrifices himself to keep the run alive. Floor just finally falls asleep and Mac comes back in, putting it down once and for all with a Shadow Ball. It's over. We got the 7th gym badge, but at the cost of most of the team. Obviously, I'm playing it up for the video, but losing so many team members in one gym battle hurts bad. Only Mac and Table were the sole survivors, so I can't allow something like this to happen again. We have to get stronger in order to make it all the way to the end. After our 10-year training arc, the new and improved team and I arrive at Grusha's gym in Glaciado. I learned a lot from our previous battle with Tulip, and now I'll never lose again. With the strength of his fallen partners, Mac tears and sweeps Grusha's entire team in minutes. All gym badges collected. Next, the Elite Four, and then the champion of the region. But before that, I go and finish up the other stories, and evolve Fork into a King Gambit. I find a shiny Flamigo named Shrimp along the way too. Now that that's out of the way, I arrive at the Elite Four. It's been a long journey, but this is the final challenge. For all the marbles. Everything's led up to this. We're backing out now. This is it. Final showdown. The real deal. I was a tiny bit nervous. After throwing up a few times, I finally built up the courage to enter the building. I'm greeted by Rika, who I ran into a few times before. She says she's gonna test me before I can enter? Test? Come on, this will be a piece of cake. How'd I get here? Oh no. I finally pass the test and enter, but Rika follows behind. She's the first member of the Elite Four. Being a ground type trainer, Rika's main weakness is water. So I brought one of our newest members, Gyarados' gay cousin, Gyarados, to terrestrialize right off the bat and sweep her team. She uses a Dragon Dance and Aqua Tails Rika's first Pokemon, Wishcast, to death, and her next 3 Pokemon go down pretty much the same way. Then she sends out her ace, Clodsire, and terrestrializes him into a pure ground type. Me, being a total dumbass, didn't see a problem with this. It used Protect. Oh well, Gyarados will just get it with the Aqua Tail next turn. But it never came. Clodsire has Water Absorb, so the attack did nothing. Gyarados gets taken out in her debut battle. The loss is unfortunate, but I'm hardened by war. The lost Pokemon is just a means to an end. I send out Fork in order to get boosted damage on Retaliate, but it doesn't kill, so Fork ends it with a Night Slash instead. First Elite Four down. Next up is a literal child who Max sweeps with basically no issue. They're just letting anyone on the Elite Four these days, huh? Who's next? That Larry guy? Oh, hey Larry, what's up? Larry's battle is another pretty clean one. Fork starts out by taking out his Tropius, and I switch into Mac so Staraptor's close combat doesn't hit. Mac uses Yawn, and I swap to Joshi, another new member of the team, to sweep the entire rest of his Pokemon with some Icicle Crashes. And a Dragon Claw mixed in there as well. 3 of the 4 down. 1 more to go. Hassel is last. I send out Fork first, and it's over before it even starts. Fork uses Swords Dance and one-shots 4 of Hassel's Pokemon. His Baxcalibur is a slight problem though. It knows Brick Break, so Fork can't stay out. Matt comes in to negate it and uses Yawn, but he takes a massive hit, so I need to switch to Stall for a turn. The only Pokemon on the team with enough defense to take a hit from this thing is Table. I send her out, and she survives a crit. It's asleep. This is our chance. Joshi comes out and terrestrializes into an Ice type, killing the worst by comparison Baxcalibur with 1 Icicle Crash. And with that, I did it. We bested the Elite Four. All that training actually paid off. I couldn't have done it without our partners who risked their lives for us along the way. But it's not over. One more hurdle stands in our way. Gita, the champion. The Elite Four members congratulate me and send me up to the roof, where Gita is waiting. This is it for Silly, Marvin, Harry, actually, Dobby, and everyone else who's pushed us to this moment. We'll defeat Gita and claim our champion rank. She leads with a Spathra, and I send out Fork. He takes it out with a quick and clean Kowtow Cleave, and she's on to her next Pokemon, Avalugg. Fork comes back, and in comes Suprime. He uses Close Combat, but it's not good enough. Both his defense stats are lowered right before an Avalanche comes right at him. Suprime survives on 1 HP, and with 1 more Close Combat, Avalugg goes down. Next, Gita sends out Go-Goat, and I swap into Mac, who kills it pretty quick and gets some special attack boosts. Because of these boosts, he takes out our next Pokemon, King Gambit, no sweat. and next is her Veluza. I switch into Fork, who, like always, absolutely decimates it, and with that, it's time for her final Pokemon. Glimmora comes out, ready to terastallize into a rock type. To counter, I switch into Table, but it uses Earth Power when I least expect it. I need to keep Table in to use Heavy Slam, but she might die this turn, and I can't switch into anyone else and risk sacking them at this point. Everyone has to make it to the end, but I remember Table's Terra type is Ghost. So she terastallizes, and I pray that she can take an Earth Power. She does, with 9 HP. But Heavy Slam isn't enough. I have to switch. But all my Pokemon left are weak to ground, except Joshi. I send him in and forget about Glimmora's ability poisoning him. And then, expecting Glimmora to use Earth Power, my heart drops when it uses Terra Blast instead. But Joshi takes it and gets hurt by poison right after. He's down to 4 HP, but he's still faster. With a swift Dragon Claw, Joshi finishes it. I beat Gita. After so many stressful battles, so many devastating losses, I finally did it. The journey's over. Just kidding. I battled Nemona one more time in Super with Supreme. That's what she gets for cheating. You didn't hear it from me. I'm just saying. But now, our journey is actually over. You know, when I started this, I never thought I'd actually make it this far, but here we are. My first Pokemon Hardcore Nuzlocke complete is what I'd like to say, but something feels like it's missing. Like there's something I still need to take care of. And I think Miraidon feels that way too. And judging by the video length, you know there's more. Miraidon takes me to this place right outside the big crater called the Zero Gate. And Arvin is there waiting. We walk inside and Nemona and Penny are there as well. The four of us, plus Miraidon, venture into the Great Crater of Paldea, or as it's better known, Area Zero. Since this is a new area, I get a few encounters. I catch a Corviknight named Artorias, who joins the team as Gyarados' replacement, and a Girafarig named Chomper. Then, as we delve deeper in the crater, we run into some Pokemon try to attack us, including some Paradoxes. After defeating them, I catch Spoon and Boeing, and battle a few more Paradox Pokemon at the entrance of the Time Machine, where Professor Turo supposedly resides. I enter alone and find out that Turo died some time ago, replaced by an AI version of him. He tells me to put an end to the Time Machine once and for all, and leads me to it. After attempting to deactivate it, the defensive protocols activate, and AI Turo is forced to battle us. This is it, a battle to save the world. AI Turo's entire team is future Paradox Pokemon, so he leaves with Iron Maw. I send out Table and set up Stealth Rocks, and Salt Cure it to death. He then sends out Iron Thorns, so I switch to Artorias to Steel Wing. Okay, not much, but it's your first battle, so I'll let it slide just this once. Not wanting Artorias to die in her debut battle like so many of my Pokemon before, I send out Supreme to tank a few hits and take it out with close combat. Iron Bundle comes out next, which can't do much to Fork, so he rises to the challenge. He sees a chance to set up, so Fork uses Swords Dance and cuts it clean in half with a Night Slash. It's time for the Fork Sweep. Fork Sweep has been cancelled. Max swaps in to negate Fake Out and melts Iron Hands easily. Victory is so close. Table takes a rough crit from Iron Jugulus, but predicting a Flash Cannon next, she tears into a Ghost type, surviving on 15 HP. Good work, Table. You did your best. I think I'm so smart, so I switch into Fork expecting another Flash Cannon, but he uses Flamethrower, so not ideal. It's okay though, because it dies Assault Cure anyway. Finally, AI Turo tosses down his last Master Ball, containing Iron Valiant. This non-binary robot is the last thing standing between me and the fate of the world. And what better way to finish it off than using a reliable partner who's been there since the very start. Send out Mac for his final battle. After saving our ass so many times and practically carrying this run, I can't think of a more fitting final bout for him. Iron Valiant attacks first, using Brick Break, but it goes right through Mac. Attacking again, Mac takes a Psycho Cut and responds with Torch Song. One more will do it. Taking another Psycho Cut, Mac raises his mic and shouts out one last time. And Iron Valiant falls. AI Turo is defeated, but there's one more failsafe that even the AI didn't know about. The Paradise Protection Protocol. He loses control and sends out Miraidon, the same one that killed Professor Turo and attacked my Miraidon I have now. He's scared, but because we gave him that sandwich way back at the start, we're cool. Miraidon comes out of his ball and fights by my side. It's close, but the Terra energy around us charges up my Terra Orb, letting me terastallize Miraidon. He uses Terra Blast and finishes off the other, deactivating the Time Machine and saving the world. And after a goodbye from AI Turo, it's over. Actually, it's over. We did everything. We won. I can finally proudly say that I beat a hardcore Nuzlocke. So thank you for joining me on this journey, and here's to the next one, whatever that'll be. And don't forget to subscribe for more of these in the future.